Hi, my name is Jason, and I'll be making a carbonara today, and I'll also be explaining the chemical principles behind what happens when you cook the eggs used to make the carbonara sauce. So carbonara is a traditional Italian pasta made with eggs, cheese, spaghetti, and some kind of like cured ham. I'll be using bacon and like Parmigiano Reggiano today because I could not go to the grocery store to get like an actual authentic Italian guanciale and pecorino romano. And this is like kind of sacrilegious. Like, I have family in Italy, and if they saw me cooking a carbonara this way, they would actually excommunicate me. So yeah, so carbonara is just a fairly simple dish. It's literally just the spaghetti cooked in like a creamy egg and cheese sauce. And what cooks the sauce is actually the residual heat from the spaghetti itself. And the reason this sauce develops like this creamy texture is because this principle called disulfide cross-linking. So basically, when the egg is being cooked, the heat causes the proteins in the egg to unfold in a process called denaturation. And when the protein unfolds, it exposes the non-polar residues in the egg, and because of the hydrophobic effect, the proteins will kind of aggregate together, where the non-polar interactions, where non-polar residues and the protein will kind of come together, and this whole denaturation process breaks a lot of these disulfide bonds, which are put together by thiol side chains on the cysteine residues of these proteins. And so when they aggregate and come together, they start to form new disulfide bonds. And this is the kind of cross-linking part where you break down existing cysteine bonds and then create new ones. And yeah, so basically when this happens, it causes the carbonara to thicken and create this creamy texture that we see in carbonara. Yeah, and since the egg yolks in carbonara aren't fully cooked, they don't quite reach the texture of like a scrambled egg, which is fully cooked. But they have like a good in between, and that's what makes it so good. So this is the recipe I'll be using. Basically, just cut the bacon up, get 4 eggs, scramble it, mix it together with half a cup of cheese. Start cooking the pasta. Make sure it's al dente. Once the pasta's done, get it to like a separate pot where that's not hot, and then add the cheese sauce. Keep mixing. Make sure it's homogeneous and stuff, and then after that you can season.
Let's check this out and see if it's bussin' or disgusting.
Okay, so right here I'm just like cooking the bacon, I guess. There's some chemistry here, but that's for a different video. Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the pasta water boiling. Maybe add a bit of salt for flavor. The common misconception that salt will raise the boiling point of the water. I mean, it does, but not by a lot. They're gonna need a lot more salt to actually raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Yeah, so it looks like our bacon is done. I'm just gonna take it out. Yep, that's it. So our pasta took like 20 minutes to cook, which I was joking, but I'm just gonna put it in this pot now. Yeah, so we're just gonna add our sauce now. It's just eggs and cheese. Okay, after adding, we're just gonna mix it up. You know, get those disulfides bond breaking and reforming. Get that cross-linking going on. Get a nice even coat. You know, after some more mixing, I add my bacon back in. Okay, to kind of just reiterate the chemistry, let's pretend this is our protein right here. This like little strand is our protein, and these proteins have cysteine residues, and on these cysteine residues are these thiol groups. And so these thiol groups, they want to form bonds with other thiol groups to form cysteine bonds, or disulfide bonds, I mean. And that kind of just looks like this, assuming this is your protein. This is a two sulfide groups forming a cysteine bond. And so when the protein is heated, these bonds break, and they form again in new places. So if you look closely, this bond kind of just formed a new bond with some random residue here. Over here, there was a bond here that breaks and then reforms with this one over here. And so yeah, that's kind of what cross-linking is. Okay, so it looks like we're finally done mixing. Everything looks nice and even. Time to eat. Okay, so now this is where we find out if it's bussin' or disgustin'. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a certified bussin'.
Bussin'.